When you search for information through our library's website, your results will come in the form of item records. Item records are descriptions of individual books, journal articles, and other materials. They include things like a book title, article title, author, publication dates, and the source name, like journal title. Each of these parts is called a field. Item records are generated by libraries to tell you the kinds of information they have on hand that are accessible to you. Citations contain similar information to item records and are generated by scholars like you to help you find the sources of information they've used to make their arguments. You're probably familiar with citations when you look at the references section in a journal article or at the bibliography in a book. The information that item records and citations contain is intended to help you find the item you are looking for. As a scholar, identifying the information's format will help you find it in the library or the internet. You can think of information as content stored in containers. The format is like a storage jar that comes in the form of books, magazines, academic journals, conferences, and newspapers. The container, whether it's a book, magazine, journal, conference, or newspaper, holds delicious information found on the inside. If your container is a book, it stores book chapters inside of it. For a magazine, the container stores articles. Journals are like scholarly magazines, so they also store articles that are peer-reviewed and written by scholars. If your container is a conference, inside the conference proceedings are sessions. And if the container is a newspaper, you have articles inside those too. In every item record or citation, you'll always find the name of the container, whether it's the book title, name of the magazine or newspaper, journal, or conference proceeding. Now that you're familiar with the containers, understanding the information that comes from each item format will help you identify it in an item record or in a citation. When you look at an item record for a book, it will have the book title, which is the name of the container. There is the author or authors, year of publication. You're probably used to that. What you may not be used to is that in scholarly materials, rather than referencing the book, you may see a reference to a chapter in the book instead. When an item record references a book chapter, it looks like this. You have the name of the book chapter, the author of the book chapter, and then you have the name of the book and year of publication. You're probably thinking, why does this have to be so complicated? Well, that's because a lot of scholarly books are written in a different format than your regular popular book. Most people are used to books that you see here on the left. These kinds of books are written by one or two authors. All the chapters are written by the same one or two authors. But that's not the case in scholarly books. In scholarly books like this one here, Fandom Unbound, there are 3 editors, Ito, Okabe, and Tsuji. Editors are the people who read and proofread an author's work. They put the book together and they're responsible for publishing the book. Scholarly books often start with an editor who is usually a subject matter expert who says, hey, I want to capture the academic conversation around this certain topic or theme. The editor may approach the topic through their unique perspective, and they may write the chapter or 2 in the book. But what they really want is to capture the entire academic conversation. They want the perspectives of all the experts on this topic. So what they do is reach out to their colleagues. They put what's called a call for papers out to the academic world, and the experts will write chapters about their research on the topic. They send these chapters back to the editors, who then edit the chapters and put the book together. Each chapter is written by the different authors who submitted chapters for the book. The chapters are written around a certain topic, an approach to a topic, or a particular theme. When you see the table of contents in a scholarly book, notice how each chapter lists the names of the authors who wrote it, and they're all different. When doing research, scholars don't read an entire book from start to finish. Instead, we focus on the particular chapters that are relevant to our topic. That's why in your research, you may see book chapter citations instead of a citation for the entire book. When it comes to newspapers get released daily and sometimes even several times a day. Each day you have a different issue of the newspaper, right? That's why newspaper item records and citations will have full dates because they come out daily. They also include the name of the container, which is the name of the newspaper, and the name of the article. The full date is one way to tell the information's format. So now let's talk about articles that are found in magazines and journals. Magazines are written for popular audiences. As you can see here, they have eye-catching pictures, and if you remember back from Module 1, they rarely contain citations. These are meant to entertain as well as inform. Magazines are the container. Inside the magazines are the articles and stories. Magazines are organized by volume. Here you can see the winter, spring, and summer volumes. In an item record or a citation, look for the volume name or number. You may also see an issue number. Journals are scholarly magazines written for people like us, scholars. Journals are organized just like magazines. You've got the outer container like you see here, and a volume number just like a popular magazine. And like magazines, journals are a container for the articles. Journal articles instead of magazine articles. The articles look different because they're written for scholarly audiences, but organizationally, they are organized just like magazines. When you look at the item record for a journal article, the journal article title is listed first, followed by author name, and later, the name of the journal itself, which is that container. You'll also see the year of publication, volume number, and issue number. Journal articles will also have page numbers to tell you where to locate it in the journal. In the item records from the library, scholarly journal articles will also include that they are peer-reviewed. In addition to journals and journal articles, scholarly information also comes in the form of conference proceedings. Conferences are where academics gather to literally have those academic conversations around their different topics of interest. They also present sessions about their topic. Scholars go to conferences in order to stay updated on the latest and greatest research in their field. Conference proceedings are the written records of these meetings. Like here, you can see that this conference proceeding is a record of the 15th International Scientific Conference on Aeronautics, Automotive, and Railway Engineering and Technology. This conference took place in Bulgaria from the 10th through the 13th of September 2023. Each of the sessions from this conference is contained inside the proceedings. As you can see, they look like journal articles. The item record also looks identical to a journal article except for one tiny detail, the words conference proceedings. Whenever you see the words conference or proceedings, you know it's got to be a conference. Words like proceedings, conference, convention, annual meeting, transactions of, symposium, and annals will tell you that you're looking at a conference proceeding. For your quiz, you should be able to identify an item's format based on the information from the item record. Fortunately, most item records will tell you the format the information is in. Look for that when you're viewing item records. You should be able to identify the different parts of an item record. Most item records will start with the title of the item first, followed by the author or editor's names. If the information is in a container, the title of the container will be listed after the title of the item. So if it's a journal article, you'll see the title of the article, followed by the authors, then the container, which will be the name of the journal. For book chapters, you'll see the title of the chapter, followed by the authors. The title of the book comes after the book chapter title. In conference proceedings, the title of the conference session will be listed first, followed by the presenters. The name of the conference itself will be listed after. Practice looking at item records so that you can interpret all the information you get out of them. This will get you really ready for this section of the quiz. Until next time, happy researching.